All right, welcome back. We're here with another live stream on Underdog. So, there was some news last night about Cooper Cup going day to day, and that is something that is concerning if you've already drafted him or if you're going to be drafting him. Where is he gonna fall now? So I'm curious to kind of see that update on Underdog, but you'd have to think he sort of falls behind potentially a Stephon Diggs now. Maybe he goes end of round one. So let's see what happens with this Cup injury. It's sort of concerning for those who've already drafted Cup at probably the 104, 105. So let's see. We have the fourth pick. So we can probably avoid getting Cup. We can get one of these first four players right here. I'm looking at Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey, or Tyreek Hill. In underdog formats, Cooper Cup could be going at the four, where Christian McCaffrey falls. However, I think this really solidifies Christian McCaffrey's value, and I think we should avoid Cooper Cup up until we get a further update on underdog. So Justin Jefferson goes 101 as expected. Jamar Chase 102. I'm really hoping we get Tyreek Hill here. We haven't had a single share of Tyreek Hill as he goes. So we've drafted Christian McCaffrey a lot here on Underdog. I'm between Christian McCaffrey and Travis Kelce. We're going to go with a different build here. We're going to start off with Travis Kelce at the 104. Mainly, I would take Christian McCaffrey otherwise. However, I think Travis Kelce could be a value here, just doing a different strategy beyond taking Christian McCaffrey. We've done robust RB builds for our last two underdog drafts, so let's try something different out. Let's really focus on the receivers on this draft and see how well we can put together a team. As after Travis Kelce, Christian McCaffrey goes at the 105, Austin Eckler at the 106, and Bijan Robinson at the 107. So we get three of the first running backs off the board. I've been seeing Nick Chubb going a lot earlier on these underdog drafts, which is interesting. And I think Nick Chubb, everyone can kind of see it at this point that he's of great value. And he's a great first round pick. It's just I don't know if I see him the value of him going that early. Especially sometimes I've seen him going before Bijan Robinson or even Austin Eckler. So we got Cooper Cup going at the 108. That's interesting. So I would say his value is sort of where I expected it to be at the end of the first round. However, he's still going before Stephon Diggs, which is interesting as AJ Brown goes at the 110. So I would say that I would be drafting Stephon Diggs over Cooper Cup or AJ Brown. Any of these like next tier players. I think Fraud getting Stephon Diggs at the 112 is really, really good value. In these underdog drafts, I tend to like being at the end of the draft because you can kind of find value. So once AJ Brown goes at the 11th pick, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 12th pick, Stephon Diggs, 13th pick, CeeDee Lamb, 14th pick, Garrett Wilson, 15th pick, Tony Pollard, 16th pick, Saquon Barkley. And we're going to be on the clock in about 4 picks, so we should take a look at who we're considering. Devonte Adams would be nice to fall. Um, Devonte Adams is still on the board as he just goes. Okay, so we're gonna have to scramble. I'm looking at a Devonte Smith. I think there's a sort of a tier fall off after Devonte Smith. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't mind picking Devonte Smith at the 2-9. Patrick Mahomes goes right before us, and we're going to take Devonte Smith. And if we can have Derrick Henry or Jacobs fall to us, that would be really nice. So, and I would feel really good about the start of this team. As Derrick Henry goes at the 2-11, or I'd be looking at T. Higgins as well, and I'd be really feeling good about our wide receiver group. So really, let's see if any of these two players fall, as Josh Jacobs goes at 301, and I think that's great value for Josh Jacobs. Josh Allen at the 302, and we're going to be up next. I do see, no, I don't see any quarterbacks I like. Mark Andrew, oh, we already went Kelsey. Okay, so they go Mark Andrews. I think we're going to take T. Higgins here, just quickly to take a look. Gibbs and Stevenson are good picks. However, we've taken Gibbs a lot in these underdog drafts, and I think, yeah, going with T. Higgins, getting a balanced wide receiver crew will be nice along with our Travis Kelsey pick. So let's take a look at the draft board. After our Devonte Smith pick, Calvin Ridley goes at the 22nd pick, Derrick Henry at the 23rd pick, Jalen Hurts at the end of the second round, Josh Jacobs in the beginning of the third round, Josh Allen at the 302, Mark Andrews at the 303, T. Higgins at the 304, Travis Etienne at the 305, and Jahmyr Gibbs at the 306. So now we're seeing a lot of the other core position groups going. Now we're 14 picks away. Looking at our roster construction, we are really happy with our tight end, of course, and we're looking like we're going sort of a zero RB build right now, potentially, depending on who we take with our next pick. So hopefully someone nice falls to us in the running back position, or else I'd be looking at wide receiver and really strengthening that. So let's take a look. I would not mind Ramondre, although I don't think he'll be falling to us. And then I do think there's another tier fall off right after. Amari would be nice as a wide receiver 3. Debo is someone I'm hesitant about to be my wide receiver 1 or 2. However, I wouldn't mind picking Debo to be our wide receiver 3. Christian Watson, Mike Williams, there's some good picks. I'd be looking at Drake London as well, maybe on the turnaround. So there's some good wide receivers coming up that I think we can snag to be our wide receiver 3, alongside some running backs that we can take for value. Like in this build, I would be really looking at a Dameon Pierce. I would be potentially looking at J.K. Dobbins. There were reports out that the Bills were saying that he's going to be the lead player, and he's going to have over 200 touches, essentially doubling his production. This is James Cook, essentially doubling his opportunity. Excuse me. So that's something that is interesting, especially in a zero RB build. Maybe you want to take James Cook with that PPR upside. So I think we're going to get a good receiver that we like falling to us. And Najee is someone I'm not a big fan of. However, in this build, late in the fourth, that would be tremendous value. I don't think I've seen a running back go, okay, Ramondre Joe Mixon, okay. So yeah, let's see who falls to us. So Debo goes, then Brees Hall. Is there? Yeah, Najee. He's in this sort of build. Okay, so if I was going to take Najee, I would have taken Jalen Warren later on. But I'm looking at Drake London here. We could take Joe Burrow, but I'm going to sort of wait on quarterback as we take in Travis Kelsey. Um, Aaron Jones is an interesting pick. Maybe he falls to us. I think Drake London would be a nice pickup to be our wide receiver three. And we really have a strong wide receiver group. It's really nice, to be honest. Yeah, so we're 5 picks away. This is where we could really double down on receiver. Just let's see if we go true zero running back. No, we're gonna have to get our guy here. I'm looking at Damian Pierce, Alexander Madison, or Kenneth Walker. There will be some value, yeah, that comes back to us. So I don't think we should take another receiver. Although it's tempting with a Deontay Johnson here or Tyler Lockett as Deontay Johnson goes. Yeah, I think that's our sign to take running back here. Now it's a matter of which running back to take. Kenneth Walker is my concern is Zach Charbonnet. Obviously he's gonna be the starter, but I would be really looking at Damian Pierce. I think he did really well last year. I know Kenneth Walker did well as well. Um, this is where like I'm very indifferent with Damian Pierce and Kenneth Walker, but sort of a I just have a feeling that Damian Pierce will do better out there in Houston, and the reason is that he doesn't have competition. So that's gonna be a worry that we won't have. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Damian Pierce with this pick as our running back one, and it's an interesting build we've taken so far. Travis Kelsey has been our first pick, and then Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Drake London as our second, third, and fourth round picks, and then Damian Pierce as our fifth round pick. So let's look at the draft board. Once we picked Drake London, Jonathan Taylor went at the 46th pick, fourth round. Aaron Jones went at the 47th pick. Brandon Ayuk went at the end of the fourth round pick. Deontay Johnson went at the beginning of the fifth round pick. T.J. Hawkinson went at the 502. Joe Burrow went at the 503. Damian Pierce went at the 504. Alexander Madison went at the 505. Justin Herbert went at the 506. Tyler Lockett went at the 507. Darren Waller went at the 508. And Chris Godwin went at the 509. So just about what I expected in the fifth round. Alexander Madison is someone we were looking at as our running back one. I just like the younger talent in Damian Pierce. And then Justin Herbert is a good pick there. Tyler Lockett I like. Darren Waller is getting really hyped up currently and could be league winner. However, I think he's also getting drafted sort of at a higher ceiling right now, so that's my main concern. Chris Godwin at the 57th pick. I really like Chris Godwin this season. I think like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they ball out regardless of the quarterback. Even before Brady, they didn't have a star over there. So I don't see why Chris Godwin and Mike Evans can't ball out the season. Baker Mayfield hasn't been the best, but he's shown that he can support receivers, especially good receivers. So I wouldn't I wouldn't be too concerned drafting someone like a Chris Godwin or Mike Evans as sort of lower ceiling, higher floor guys. And then Trevor Lawrence goes at the 58. J.K. Dobbins goes at the 59. Terry McLaurin goes at the 60, end of the fifth round, and then Jerry Jeudy goes at the 601. Kyler Pitts goes at the 602. Christian Kirk at the 603. And then it looks like we're going to be picking in 5 picks, and it would be phenomenal if we could get Kenneth Walker coming back to us. That would be beautiful. If not, I'm looking at a Miles Sanders here. Surely due to the volume, like there's no other reason. It's not a sexy pick per se, but I would still not mind Miles Sanders as our RB2. Oh man, I'm really hoping Kenneth Walker falls to us. That would be nice. Why is he dropping so much in value? Yeah, there's no report. There's only positive report. Whoever gets Kenneth Walker, and I think this team won't draft a running back, so I'm hoping. Yes, I think Kenneth Walker is gonna. No! No! Oh. That would have been the perfect start. Okay, we're gonna have to pivot. Yeah, we're gonna have to go Miles Sanders here. Oh my god. This is. Would have had the perfect start. I would have loved this team, but it's alright. I hate when that happens on Underdog. It seems like it's happening every day. Alright, so let's see. I'm looking at Mike Evans. I just explained the reasons why I did like Mike Evans. Especially in the 7th round, that would be nice. I'm not a big fan of any of the other wide receivers, and no one our luck, Mike Evans is also going to go. So we should probably have a backup. Okay, Mike Evans is still there, 2 picks away. Mike Evans goes. Yep, just as expected. All right, so let's see. Oh boy, okay. There's no one I'm loving here. However, I'm gonna take a shot at Zay Flowers here. With the new coach in Baltimore, it's essentially it's going to be a high-powered offense. It's going to be a very fast offense. So really what I'm banking on is that you want to take shots in that Baltimore offense and kind of hope that one of them falls. I would be avoiding Odell. So we're going to maybe take shots in the Baltimore offense now and sort of split our difference. We with this best ball format, we don't have to pick the best play, or we don't have to choose the best player on a week to week basis. So kind of taking stabs at a certain offense that you think is going to improve or that you think you see value in is a really good way to win some of these underdog drafts or even your home leagues. So that's what we're doing. As I didn't really like some of these other picks that we had. Someone on our turnaround I'd be looking at is Khalil Herbert. I wouldn't mind him as our running back 3. I wouldn't mind the Washington running backs. I think we should get a running back on the in 8 picks. And then wide receiver, if Michael Pittman falls, that would be nice. As someone needs to get the volume out there in Indianapolis. Um, Quentin Johnson kind of just taking stabs at rookies isn't a bad idea. Sky Moore, someone he's gonna have an every down role, so that's looking really nice. So yeah, those are the receivers I'm looking at as Sky Moore just goes. Still 5 picks away. And then on the turnaround, I wouldn't mind an Alvin Kamara. Gives us upside at the running back position, especially since we punted it. We're still sort of punting quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson is someone we would be looking at. Let's see. So Michael Pittman is still there. Is there news on Michael Pittman and why he's fallen? It's maybe just because the Colts offense is just going to... And Michael Pittman goes, of course. It's just probably because the Colts offense is going to be atrocious this year with the new JT news. So Quentin Johnson is still here. Someone I would probably like take a stab on with this next pick. Khalil Herbert as well. Oh, this is tough. Let's take a look. This is where we can take a look at the other teams and see their builds. So 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay. They could kind of go either way. If there's no news on Quentin Johnson, I'm going to be going Quentin Johnson. Yeah. We're going to go Quentin Johnson. So we feel good about our wide receiver group. I think it's a really strong group. We're taking a lot of stabs at a lot of different offenses that could sort of go off on a week-to-week basis. Baltimore, LA, Chargers, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Philadelphia. A lot of good offenses in Kansas City. And then really just volume guys more than anything at the running back position. And ideally, if we can get Khalil Herbert as he just goes, dang. This is the draft of... I don't know if we have listeners from this lobby that have joined, but they know exactly what I want to do. All right, so I'm looking at Tua or Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson would be nice for that running back upside, but also one of these, Brian Robinson wouldn't be a bad pick as a volume guy before there's a massive fall off. So I think Brian Robinson is probably the better pick here. Anthony Richardson is right there. This is difficult. Let me take a look at the running back position. There's a name I do like in here, name or two. Yeah, I'm gonna go Anthony Richardson. It's an interesting build we're taking for sure. I know the RB group isn't the best. However, we're really strong in the other positions. I'm curious to see how we can sort of make up the ground with the RB group with some of these later picks, especially if the running back market isn't strong this year. This is a team that could really pop off if there's some injuries. So I think with this third running back, we still look for volume, still look for someone who can perform on a week-to-week basis, and then we start looking for upside. So as we're 14 picks away, I'm feeling really good about our receivers. We have 5 studded receivers that we're really gonna have to rely on 4 of them on a week-to-week basis. I don't mind that. I think 3 of them we're good with, and then say Flowers, Quentin Jones. We're kind of hoping one of the rookies hit and can fill in that 4th slot. However, Kelsey is sort of the difference maker on our team that we're hoping that gives us the edge, and then we're taking that shot on Anthony Richardson. So there's a lot of what ifs with this team for sure. However, I do notice that whenever I tend to take Kelsey in the first round, I don't tend to love the roster construction of my team, especially in the running back. They're the focal point of your fantasy offense. They should be in a winning offense, ideally. And it's sort of taking away from that. So, we got to try out different strategies. And I'm glad we took a Travis Kelsey first round build. I just would honestly prefer to avoid this in the future. As Brian Robinson has still been falling, that would be nice. AJN, he just goes. It's like we jinx it whenever we call the person's name. So AJ Dillon is still there. He had a good last season. It's really those receptions that are nice. He could get a touchdown, every other week. Maybe not every other week, but yeah, yeah. It's really the receptions that I'm looking at. AJ Dillon is someone I wouldn't mind taking 5 picks away. Samaje Perine still does get that volume. So yeah, these are 2 picks that aren't like necessarily backups that we're gonna have to rely on an injury. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm banking on. And then Jamal Williams is someone in this build that I wouldn't mind either, especially knowing that Alvin Kamara will be out, and you can take a Jamal Williams kind of. It'll only the peak will be in the beginning of the season, of course. However, it could get us some wins as some of our backups, that we're gonna take handcuff running backs, start working. But Samaje Perine would be probably the most ideal in the situation. So we're definitely punting on tight end, because this team's not gonna work without Kelsey producing on a week-to-week basis. Yeah, I'm gonna take Samaje Perine here. He's gonna be at running back 3. Sort of the natural 0 RB roster that you would get, especially with the Travis Kelsey build. It's like what you would expect, and it looks like I feel like I did a good job in making sure I can still made the roster so it can still fit, it can still win. I'm just a little concerned about its ceiling potential, but that's really on these receivers. If they hit, then this team does really well. If they don't, then they don't. This team doesn't do well. So let's see. As we're 4 picks away, and this is where we can take another running back. Tank Bigsby, Rashad Penny. I'm not really looking at Rashad Penny. However, let's take a look at our wide receivers. Jameson Williams. He'll be out. Wide receiver group does take a big hit. Yeah, I think we're gonna be taking running back here. Um, I think yeah, some of these Derek Carr, Jordan Love, those two are players I'd be looking at. Even Russell Wilson potentially. Uh, but I think this is a no-brainer for running back. I'm gonna take Jerick McKinnon here. Kind of take a shot at that Kansas City offense. Travis Kelce, Jerick McKinnon. Someone's gonna be getting the touchdowns. We've got high-powered offenses here, is which what I really like about this team. We definitely could have gone Jamal Williams and really banked on the first 4 weeks, but I think this is a better outlook for the whole season. Now, taking a look at our team, Anthony Richardson at quarterback, Damian Pierce, Miles Sanders, Samaje Perine, Jerick McKinnon at running back, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson at wide receiver, and Travis Kelce at tight end. Who would I prefer between Zay Flowers and Quentin Johnson and JSN and Jordan Addison? Between the rookies, if you're really, if you're there's those four main guys, you sort of want to take a shot on one of them. Who would I prefer? They're kind of getting drafted, between 2 to 3 rounds of each other. I would honestly prefer Jordan Addison. I think, let's take a look at each. Jordan Addison is the wide receiver 2 behind a Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson will be grabbing so much of the attention's defense, especially after what he's done the past 2 seasons, that Jordan Addison will really be getting more open looks than what he's been used to in college even. Obviously the DBs are better, but Justin Jefferson's just that good, man, that Jordan Addison is going to really get looks. And Kirk Cousins is a good fundamental quarterback where he's going to go to the open receiver. So if Jordan Addison can catch the ball and he can, run good routes, get open, it's so much opportunity there. Zay Flowers, I explained why we took Zay Flowers. It's mainly because Zay Flowers is in a high power, fast pace offense with their new play caller. So I feel like Zay Flowers can. We're just taking a shot on that offense. Zay Flowers will be able to be rewarded at times if that offense is doing well. And then Quentin Johnson, I'm just worried about how much competition there is in LA. However, Justin Herbert is the perfect quarterback that can distribute the ball between 3 receivers, and we've seen that with Joshua Palmer. So yeah, I would prefer Jordan Addison between the four of them, and then JSN I honestly don't prefer. I feel like it's the same thing as Quentin Johnson. All right, so we're 2 picks away. We could take a Sam Laporta, kind of take a shot in the dark here. I don't know if I love it. Running backs and receivers. MVS wouldn't be a bad pick. MVS, we're really going to take a stab at that Kansas City offense all through the 3 position groups. I do not mind that. I really don't mind that. Now looking at the running backs, Russell Wilson there. Yeah. Oh, that was a close call. But yep, we got MVS as our wide receiver 6. Mainly, we're just taking a shot in that Kansas City offense. That's literally the strategy with this draft. we're just looking at high-powered offenses all through receiver groups. Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore, LA, Kansas City. I don't mind it. I really don't, because some of these offenses will ball out. So now Sam Laporta could still come back to us. Is there any other receiver I like? I don't mind Devontae Parker later on. They could fall. We could take a tight end the next round. Or quarterback the next round. Algier could be high upside with Bijan getting injured. It's just something I don't like betting on injuries or banking on injuries necessarily. See, so would I rather have Tyler Algier, Sam Laporta? I would rather have Tyler Algier, mainly because we did punt the running back position. It gives us chances to get a stud later on in the draft with a Bijan injury. And I think he's also someone who can still get some work if they don't overwork Bijan. So yeah, I don't mind this team. I really don't. I like the running back group now. I think we kind of saved the running back group with this Tyler Algier pick. Now, I think we feel good about running back group. Maybe grab one more receiver. I would be looking at a Devontae Parker later on. Where is he? I'd be looking at tight ends now. I'd be looking at Sam Laporta. We took Juwan Johnson in a previous draft, so I'd be looking at Chig Okonkwo. And a Greg Dulcich. Those are probably the three guys I'm looking at. And then quarterback, I'm hoping one of these two guys fall back to us. That would be really nice because I do think there's a big fall off right after. And we did not take the sure thing in quarterback necessarily. So yeah, I think it'd be really nice if one of these quarterbacks do fall to us as Sam Laporta goes and then Juwan Johnson goes. But that's all right because we still have some tight ends that we wouldn't mind taking. Gerald Everett, it's kind of like taking a shot in that offense mainly. So yeah, those are the three guys I'd be looking at. And then Jordan Love goes. So we're 9 picks away. I don't think Chig Okonkwo goes. It's oh my god. So a good lesson learned is this 13th, 14th round, 12th, 13th, 14th round area is like where this like next very mid-level quarterbacks and tight ends go. So I would, yeah, I do. That is difficult, man. Do we punt the quarterback position completely and kind of go tight end here? Yeah, so we're gonna have to take a quarterback. Just not loving our options. I do wish one of the quarterbacks fell to us. Maybe we take a stab at the rookies here. Maybe it's just like a all-out young. Okay, so we can get Gerald Everett, which I think is nice. And then I think we go Bryce Young. I'm also looking at Greg Dulcich, kind of just being really strong at the tight end position. I don't know. Because we could need flex positions from there. It's not nice banking on tight end, but we know Travis Kelce is a sure thing. There's a big tier fall off afterwards. We're gonna need, I wouldn't mind taking Greg Dulcich with that next pick. Let's see. It'll be an interesting roster build for sure. Devontae Parker could go soon too. That's what I don't like. I don't mind Joshua Palmer later on. Okay, so I think we're between Greg Dulcich and Bryce Young. This is difficult. However, I'm going to go very interesting strategy. I'm going to go Greg Dulcich. I probably will regret that. And I already am regretting it. But we are sort of going all out at tight end position. Travis Kelce, Gerald Everett, and Greg Dulcich. And then we're kind of punting our QB position. This is a very... I've never done a build like this before. I don't mind it. I really don't. So if a Devontae Parker comes back to us, that would be really nice. That'd be very nice. As I'd be feeling good about our running back, wide receiver, tight end group, and then we kind of just scramble and get a bunch of quarterbacks at the end. So we do have 3 picks. So I think 2 quarterbacks are what we're looking at. Let's see. Bryce Young, if he falls, that would be really nice. I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill. Let's see if there's any connections we can make. Desmond Ridder with... And he's gone. Oh no, he's right there. Desmond Ridder with Drake London and Tyler Algier. Isn't a bad pick. CJ Stroud isn't... I'm really just mainly looking at these guys. Hopefully we get 2 of them. And then I think we're good at running back. I think these 5 can hold it. Devontae Parker is off the board, unfortunately. So, that's okay. We can't look at tight end. So, let's go with quarterback. Let's see, is there any... offenses we would like to get? So, Houston, Tank Dell, CJ Stroud. Hunter Renfrow, Jimmy G. I don't like that, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Tank Dell, CJ Stroud. Josh Downs is someone we could... Ooh, I do like Josh Downs, especially with Anthony Richardson. Could be a sleeper receiver pick for us. So let's go with Ryan Tannehill with the next pick, assuming he doesn't go here. right? Yeah, so Ryan Tannehill, I think, would be the best pick here. Yeah, I mean, he has D Hop now, so there's something good that has to come out of there. I'm gonna go Ryan Tannehill. He'll have some good days because of D Hop. And then I think Josh Downs we can get as our last pick. Yeah, I would say so. I'd be surprised if someone takes him. So yeah, I think I'm looking to see Desmond Ritter here. Mainly for that Drake London connection. I think that'll be nice. That'll be the best thing. And then we ended off with wide receiver Josh Downs. Sort of get that Anthony Richardson connection. He's supposed to be starting at slot there, so we got Desmond Ritter as our next pick, 17th round pick. So looking at the team, it's an interesting build. Our quarterbacks are shaky. That's what we punted mainly. Running backs, I think we sort of made up for going zero running back initially. Dameon Pierce, Miles Sanders, Samaje Perine, Jerick McKinnon, and Tyler Algier. Wide receivers are where we invested a lot into: Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson, MVS. And then, of course, Travis Kelce, Gerald Everett, and Greg Dulcich. It's a really interesting build. I do expect at least 1 week where one of these tight ends end up being our flex position or something like that. But with our last pick, we're gonna take Josh Downs or Joshua Palmer. Those are the two guys I'm looking at. Joshua Palmer being, someone has to emerge with one injury out there in LA. These two guys will be extremely valuable, and that's what we're looking for. Josh Downs is mainly due to the fact that he's the starting slot receiver, and we have Anthony Richardson as our quarterback. So that connection would be nice, but I think we're going to go with Joshua Palmer and he goes, oh my god, League Winner 7, are you on this live stream? That's insane, man. However, we still do have Josh Downs. That's why we always have second option. You have to be prepared for your drafts, especially for these underdog drafts where there are a lot of sharper drafters and putting real money into it. So I think we're gonna go with Josh Downs here as our last pick. Favorite for slot duties. So Downs is believed to be a front runner for the Colts slot receiver job. Nate Atkins of the Indianapolis Star reports Downs has been competing with veteran Isaiah McKenzie for the job, but the rookie has had a big summer at Colts camp and appears to have the leg up in a 3 wide receiver set alongside Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce, with Anthony Richardson under center. However, it's unclear if Downs will find a way into 2023 fantasy value in an offense that might be able to only support one pass catcher. That's very accurate, but with this last pick, we're only looking for upside, and I think Josh Downs could be that second guy there if Anthony Richardson sort of is a better pass thrower than we think, and he can support two receivers, and Josh Downs is that guy, then I see a world where Josh Downs could, make our starting lineup in this build. So Jerome Ford, then Zach Moss, we're one pick away. I am assuming this team doesn't take Josh Downs. Then again, we have been getting sniped all draft. It's been awful. As they go on auto draft and select Robert Woods, and we're gonna take Josh Downs, their last pick. And that wraps it up. So let's take a last look at our team. We have at the quarterback position Anthony Richardson, Ryan Tannehill, and Desmond Ridder. At the running back position, we have Dameon Pierce, Miles Sanders, Samaje Perine, Jerick McKinnon, Tyler Algier. At the wide receiver position, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson, MVS, Josh Downs. And at the tight end position, Travis Kelce, Gerald Everett, and Greg Dulcich. Thank you for joining today's video, and please give us a like down below and subscribe to us. We're going to have a lot more drafts coming up before the season starts to help you get ready for your draft and to help you with some underdog drafting. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you very much. Until next time.